Full Chajetji, Vice Chairman of WIRC, CA Rahul Parikh ji, the Secretary of WIRC, CA Gautam Lat ji, Treasurer, CA Pinky Kedia ji, all the distinguished chartered accountants from the Western India region, and I dare say a few budding chartered accountants also who are amongst us. The little children I can see right in the front. Indeed, a pleasure and privilege to be amongst all of you once again. At the outset, my apologies. I was slated to come much earlier, but I've been on the street since 7 in the morning today. My first program started at 7. I'd gone to Sanjay Gandhi National Park. Not only to take a walk, I did take a walk also, but to actually see what we can do to develop the park further as a tourist destination. But while we are at it, I can share with you, of course, these are the travails of a Lok Sabha MP in the Rajya Sabha. Since we are not looking at a particular constituency, you are largely looking at macro issues. But I feel blessed to be in the Lok Sabha because you are actually connecting with smaller issues very often. But I'd like to share with you one of the outcomes of my first program at 7 in the morning. And I think that should make all of you happy since many of you would be from Mumbai. We have all been seeing that Mumbai faces acute water shortage. And from time to time, if the rains are delayed, including this year, we saw the water cut, which affects people across the city, rich or poor. बड़ी-बड़ी बिल्डिंग हो या झोपड़पट्टी हो, सबको तकलीफ होती है जब पानी कट होता है. तो जब मैं संजय गांधी पार्क में था, तो बड़े प्राइड से मुझे बता रहे थे कि यहाँ पे तुलसी लेक पार्क के अंदर है, विहार लेक है. और जब मैं वहां खड़ा हुआ लेक देख रहा था, तो मैंने पूछा कि इसका डीसिल्टिंग कितनी बार होता है. They looked at me as if मैंने कुछ पता नहीं क्या मार्स को आमंत्रण दे दिया हो. और आज फर्स्ट नेशनल स्पेस डे भी है. I don't know if you are all aware, this is the first National Space Day on 23rd August. Last year, हमने चंद्रयान की सक्सेस स्टोरी सेलिब्रेट की थी. The soft landing on the moon by Chandrayaan was on the same day 1 year ago. So they actually thought मैंने कोई चांद तारे बुला लिए हैं. When I said कि इसकी डिसिल्टिंग क्या फ्रीक्वेंसी पे होती है, लास्ट कब हुई थी, and lo and behold, I think it's a preliminary observation. I think we will find a solution to the water problems of Mumbai. This large lake, which is the mainstay of our water supply, has not been desilted for years and years. At least none of them could remember when it was last desilted. And my own gut feeling is that over the years, the amount of silt that would have accumulated in the lakes, if we are able to desilt these lakes, we'll be able to augment the water supply significantly to Mumbai and hopefully solve the water problem of Mumbai. Friends, I'm giving you this example, apart from explaining why I got late. And I had a series of programs. I've just been going one to the other. I'm giving you this example because that is what chartered accountancy teaches us. That is what this wonderful program of becoming a chartered accountant makes out of each one of us. And that is what we should be proud of, that this institute has prepared us as good citizens. The whole program curriculum of a chartered accountant, the whole course, the rigorous course that we go through, start to finish, whether it's audit, articles, industrial training, the high quality curriculum that the Institute continuously reinvigorates to make it contemporary. I was just seeing in your booklet of Shashak Chartered Accountant Viksit Bharat, the high quality of articles that have been written by Sailesh Haribhakti, by Rakesh Agarwal, truly high quality articles. And this shows that this is one profession which evolves with time. This is a profession which opens our mind and helps us to see things not just with a straight jacket or a single point mind, but with a wider world perspective. And therefore, what should have been the thought of an engineer possibly to look at the lake and determine what we could do to increase water supply, a mere little chartered accountant could do. Of course, today is a very special day for me. Before coming here, my last program was near Siddhivinayak temple, where I was at a law college. And there also I mentioned the same thing, that studying law prepares a person to look at things in a very different perspective, to look at things to make sure you don't make mistakes around the law of the land. And if you have a combination of law and CA, I think it's a perfect combination which prepares us to be able to serve the nation, to be able to contribute to the humongous task ahead of us to take the national economy, the Indian economy, from $3.5 trillion to a $35 trillion economy when we celebrate 100 years of independence as a developed nation. I would also like to thank and place on record my profuse thanks to the entire chartered accountancy community who stood by me like a rock throughout my campaign, election campaign. At the drop of a hat, I had chartered accountants coming in to support me in the campaign. I think we must have had the largest gathering of chartered accountants. We couldn't fit them in a hall, so we had to do a program in an open मैदान. कोरा केंद्र में मैदान में इतनी बड़ी संख्या में चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स और स्टूडेंट्स आए, अपने आप में उस दिन इतिहास क्रिएट हुआ कि नॉन इंस्टीट्यूट फंक्शन पे डेडिकेटेड ओनली टू चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स, और वो भी कुछ मात्रा में राजनीतिक प्रोग्राम था, क्योंकि मैं उम्मीदवार था और मैं खड़ा हो रहा था और आप मेरे समर्थन में आए थे. मैं समझता हूं इतना आपका प्यार, इतना आपका स्नेह, आपका समर्थन मुझे वास्तव में ऋणी बना दिया आप सबके प्रति. और प्रफुल्ल भाई, आप अगर इतिहास निकालोगे और इंस्टीट्यूट में तो रिकॉर्ड्स बड़े मेटिकुलसली रखे जाते हैं. मुझे नहीं लगता है इंस्टीट्यूट के 75 साल की इतिहास में, 75 साल हो गए ना, 75 साल के इतिहास में कोई और मंत्री चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स के कार्यक्रम में इतना आया होगा जितना मैं आया. और वास्तव में ये यही करते हैं. कई बार चीफ गेस्ट मिलता नहीं है तो सुबह फोन करते हैं कि आपको शाम को आना है. पर ये अवश्य आपका अधिकार है, आपका प्यार भी है कि आपको मेरे में इतना विश्वास है कि मैं ना नहीं बोलूंगा. मित्रों, भारत आज जिस स्थिति में है, वी आर इन अ वेरी प्राइज्ड सिचुएशन. The world, including the developed countries, are facing recession. Many of them are struggling with serious problems in their economy. Some have high inflation, some have unemployment, some are struggling with wars. India is like an oasis in the desert. Our economy is growing. Last 3 years, our average growth is 8% plus. Every assessment that IMF comes out with, they increase our potential growth numbers for current year and future years. Recently, IMF has bumped up our growth number to 7% for the current year. Personally, of course, I'm one of those who's a born optimist who believes India should be growing in double digits. That is my dream and that is my desire. Inflation was at its lowest in the last 5 years, 3.5% or thereabouts in the last number. I don't know why RBI thinks that it is going to go up. My own feeling is the amount of effort Prime Minister Modi, Amit Bhai, everybody is putting in, Nirmala ji, all are putting in through a combination of monetary and fiscal policies. I think we will continue to maintain reasonable levels of inflation, certainly within the 4% plus or minus 2% band that RBI has stipulated. Our exports are growing despite 2 wars. And incidentally, we all know Prime Minister Modi has just reached Kyiv in Ukraine as a messenger of peace, advocating dialogue and diplomacy, and showing a pathway to the world that war can never be a solution for the problems of the world. Ultimately, we have to talk, we have to have peace, and we have to do prosperity for the people of our nations. Despite these 2 wars, India's exports continue to grow, particularly on the services side. We are doing extremely well. Our imports also are growing, ladies and gentlemen. But a growing import number, particularly when it's a sign of economic prosperity that the demand in India is growing so fast that our domestic manufacturing is not able to keep pace with the demand, will lead to greater degree of investment, will attract people from across the world to come and set up manufacturing in India. And all in all, we'll be able to create more jobs, meet the needs of our people, satisfy the demand within the country and internationally. Our reserves, foreign exchange reserves, are at a record high, almost touching $670 billion, probably the 4th or 5th largest in the world. We have been able to truly have a strong macroeconomic situation. Our fundamentals today are so strong that we have become the envy of the world. Global institutions today place trust in the India growth story. In a recent interaction with the CEO of the world's largest fund, I was asking him, what are your concerns when it comes to India? Do you see foreign exchange or the Indian currency as a risk factor, our exchange rate? Do you see our inflation as a risk factor? And on both counts, his answer was no. India's currency will be strong. We expect it to remain strong, and we don't see the Indian currency depreciating much. We don't have any concerns about the Indian currency anymore. Contrast this to the situation that prevailed 13 years ago, when in September 2013, the then government had to borrow at very high rates of interest, $35 billion of FCNRB deposits, which were attracted at 2%, more than the then prevailing rate in foreign currency, only to stabilize the Indian currency, bring it down from 68 to 54. That was an artificial strengthening of the currency. such temporary borrowings can never be a sign of a strong economy. From a fragile 5 to the top 5 economies of the world, aspiring to become the 3rd largest economy in the next 3 years, in Modi ji's 3rd term, on the strength of a vibrant, fast-growing economy. Ladies and gentlemen, the foundation of a brilliant and a bright future of India has been set. The die is cast, or if I may say so, we have cast the foundation stone of a tall skyscraper. That's the Indian economy. We have, over the last 10 years, cleaned out a lot of the mess. Over the last 10 years, we have created a strong foundation on which the nation today is ready to build a tall skyscraper of progress and prosperity. We have ensured that the people of India are able to meet their basic needs: food, clothing, shelter, electricity, good roads, water, healthcare, education, digital connectivity, modern infrastructure, basic needs. We have been able to create a plethora across the country. And we are now in a situation where 1.4 billion Indians are dreaming big, achieving big, aspiring for a bright future. And at the forefront of that growth story that India promises today, the Institute of Chartered Accountants and the 5 lakh plus Chartered Accountants of India are right there in the front of the growth story of India, are ready to serve, are ready to take big challenges. Every one of you in this room, every chartered accountant in India plays a very important role crafting the future of India. While every profession has important contributions to make, bear in mind that your signature is the signature on which millions of investors all over the world place their trust, invest in India, and see India as the future of the world's growth story. Of course, there will be naysayers. There will be people who will try to peddle false narratives. There will be people who will distrust what you are saying. They'll issue videos on social media scaring you and scaring investors not to invest in the India growth story. I don't know what their mindset is. I don't know what their objective is. I don't know why they are trying to debunk the India growth story. I don't understand why they cannot take pride in all the hard work that all of you are putting in, all our young men and women are putting in, all the hard work that millions of farmers are putting in, all the hard work that millions of factory workers are putting in, the toil and labor of professionals across the country, doctors, engineers, architects, finance professionals, all working for a common goal to make India a developed nation. Sadly, there is a small set of people, इशारा समझ रहे हो ना कि और एक्सप्लिसिट होना पड़ेगा. मुझे लगता है आपने वीडियो देखा नहीं है. स्टॉक मार्केट में मत इन्वेस्ट करो, भारत की स्थिति खराब है, पता नहीं कल क्या होगा. अरे भाई, स्टॉक मार्केट में कोई आता है तो आंख खोल के आता है. उसे पता है कि इसमें रिस्क भी है, रिवॉर्ड भी है. उसने देखा है 10 वर्षों में प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के कार्यकाल में देश कहां से कहां पहुंच गया। 10वीं सबसे बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था से विश्व की 5वीं सबसे बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था बन गया। अब देश कमजोर नहीं है। अब भारत का पासपोर्ट लेके दुनिया में किधर भी जाओ इज्जत मिलती है। आज व्यापार करो किसी के साथ, देखते हो यू आर फ्रॉम इंडिया, और नजर से नजर मिला के आज भारत के लोग दुनिया के साथ बात करते हैं। आज जब भारत में प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी किधर जाते हैं तो दुनिया के बड़े से बड़े नेता मोदी जी के नेतृत्व को एक्सेप्ट करते हैं, सम्मान देते हैं। हर एक देश उनको अपना सबसे बड़ा सिविलियन ऑनर देने के लिए उत्सुक होता है। आपने परसों ही सुना होगा पोलैंड में माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का भाषण, कितना तेज था, कितना उत्साह था, कितना आत्मविश्वास था कि मेरा देश बस अब आगे जाएगा, कोई दुनिया की ताकत भारत को रोक नहीं सकती। ये होता है नेतृत्व जो देशवासियों का हौसला बढ़ाता है, देशवासियों का साधुवाद करता है। हमारे परिश्रमी भारतीयों के मेहनत को और चार चांद लगाता है, बजाय के देश को डराना, देश को धमकाना, देशवासियों का मनोबल कमजोर करना। और मैं आप सबसे दरख्वास्त करूंगा कि आप एम्बेसडर्स बनिए विकसित भारत के। सशक्त चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट ही देश को विकसित बना पाएगा। आपकी मेहनत पर ही ये देश विकसित बनेगा। और मुझे कोई डाउट नहीं है, मुझे रत्ती भर भी संदेह नहीं है। आज हम 5 लाख की ताकत में हैं। आगे चल के जिस प्रकार से आकर्षण बढ़ रहा है चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट बनने का, 10-12 लाख तो हमारे विद्यार्थी हैं जो सीए की पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं। मुझे पूरा विश्वास है आज से 6-8 साल में हम 10 लाख चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट, 1 मिलियन सीएस, 1 मिलियन देशवासियों को और आगे बढ़ने के लिए प्रोत्साहित करेंगे और अवसर निकालेंगे। और आज तो भारत के चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स की दुनिया में इतनी डिमांड है कि मुझे लगता है कि इंस्टीट्यूट ने भी थोड़ा और स्टूडेंट्स को प्रोत्साहित करके सीए बनाना पड़ेगा। दुनिया में आज भारत के चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स को लोग इज्जत देते हैं, विश्वास करते हैं, उनकी मेहनत से मोहित होते हैं और उनको अपने कारोबार संभालने का दायित्व देना चाहते हैं। और भाइयों बहनों, प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी हमारे साथ पूरी तरीके से खड़े हैं। इस प्रोफेशन को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए पूरी सरकार आपके साथ है। और मेरा विश्वास है, जैसे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा, अब इनकम टैक्स एक्ट को भी हमें सरल बनाना है। उसमें भी आप सबका अनुरोध है आप सबसे कि आप जरा उसमें भी हमारी मदद करें, सुझाव दें। या तो एक टोली बैठे चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स की और एक सिंप्लीफाइड, क्रिस्प और प्रिसाइज वर्जन इनकम टैक्स एक्ट का, बाकी भी जो लॉज हैं उसमें हम क्या सरलता ला सकते हैं, क्या चीजों को डिक्रिमिनलाइज कर सकते हैं, क्या कंप्लायंस सरल बना सकते हैं, क्या प्रोसेस प्रोसीजर को और लोगों के लिए सुविधाजनक बनाएं, कैसे हम ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस में काम करें। उसके लिए मेरा आप सबसे अनुरोध है कि आप अवश्य सरकार को सुझाव दें जिससे हमारा काम और अच्छा हो सके। आप जरूर हमें हमारे साथ मिलकर देश को ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस और हमारे युवा युवतियों को, हमारे पूरे कौशल के साथ भरे लोगों को कैसे और मौके मिले हमारे स्टार्टअप की दुनिया कैसे आगे जाए, कैसे हम स्किल करें युवा शक्ति को, कैसे एमएसएमईज को आगे देश के अर्थव्यवस्था में और मौके मिले, भारत की क्वालिटी स्टैंडर्ड्स विश्व के स्टैंडर्ड्स बने, भारत एक क्वालिटी कॉन्शियस देश बने, इन सब चीजों में और अति आधुनिक टेक्नोलॉजीज, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस हो, डीप टेक हो, मशीन लर्निंग हो, इसमें भी हम अपने चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स को जोड़कर एक विकसित भारत बनाने के लिए हर संभव कदम में चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स का योगदान बहुत बड़ा होगा, बहुत अहम होगा। मुझे पूरा विश्वास है, जैसे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी कहते हैं, एंड आई लाइक टू कोट, today's Bharat is working with one voice. Today's Bharat is working with one voice and one sentiment to write the journey of a developed future. Let us all work together in this journey. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. My respects to Ms. Jayaji, who has just come in. Namaskar, Didi. I have heard Jayaji on an earlier occasion, an outstanding and inspirational speaker. I am sure all of us chartered accountants will be blessed by her words of wisdom. Sadly, I have another program. There's a Plus India exhibition and conference that I have to attend, Jayaji, so I won't be able to be a part of your program. But I wish you well, and I wish the conference great success. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, Piyush. Yeah. So I'll just request all the regional council members. I'll just first request Ankit Bhai to kindly present a memento to Piyush Goyal ji for as a token of our appreciation.